NVIDIA and Poolside just dropped free, open weight models that run on your machine, and they're going head to head with paid APIs like GPT-5, 5.5. But can they actually replace your monthly subscription? Let's find out. Here is the map for this lesson. First, we will talk about what just dropped in April 2026. Then, we will move to the free model that codes like a pro. After that, we will cover NVIDIA's multimodal reasoning powerhouse. After that, we will cover the catch, what free models can't do. After that, we will cover when free actually beats paid. After that, we will cover what a real-world test looks like. Finally, we will close with your move, ditch the subscription or not. 2 free open weight models dropped in the same week, and they're gunning for your paid API budget. In the last week of April 2026, 2 major players released free open weight AI models that you can run on your own hardware. First, NVIDIA dropped the Nemotron 3 Nano Omni, a multimodal reasoning model designed for agentic tasks. It's a 30 billion parameter total model with only 3 billion active parameters using a hybrid Mamba transformer architecture. That means it's incredibly efficient. It can handle text, images, and more, all while keeping a 1 million token context window. And yes, it's completely open. Then, literally the same day, Poolside released 2 models in their Laguna family and Laguna M.1. The XS2 is a 33 billion total parameter model with 3 billion active, built specifically for agentic coding and long horizon software work. It uses sliding window attention with per-head gating in most layers, so it's fast and has low memory requirements. Both models are Apache 2.0 licensed, meaning free for commercial use. So we now have 2 free, locally runnable models from companies that know enterprise AI. The question is, do they actually beat the paid APIs you're probably already using? Imagine never paying per token for coding again. That's what Laguna XS.2 promises. Let's start with Poolside's Laguna XS.2. This model was designed from the ground up for agentic coding, the kind where an AI writes, tests, and iterates on code over many steps, not just a single completion. The architecture tells you a lot. Sliding window attention means it can handle very long coding sessions without the memory blowing up. Per head gating in 30 or 40 layers means it's selectively focusing on what matters, which is exactly what you want when you're refactoring a 1,000-line file. Now, compare that to using a paid API like GPT 5.5 for coding. Every time you ask it to generate a function, you pay per token. If you're running an agent that makes 50 calls to fix a bug, that adds up fast. With Laguna, you spin it up on your own machine, a decent GPU, or even a MacBook with enough RAM, and you get unlimited inference. No rate limits, no API keys, no usage dashboards. And because it's local, your code never leaves your machine. For companies dealing with proprietary code bases, that's a massive advantage. I'm not saying it's better at raw coding benchmarks than GPT 5.5 or 5.4. We don't have public head-to-head numbers yet. But for the specific workflow of an autonomous coding agent, the economics and privacy alone might make it the smarter choice. And that's before you even fine-tune it on your own code base, which you can do because it's open weight. What if your AI could see your screen, read your docs, and listen to you all for free? On the other side, NVIDIA's Nemotron 3 Nano Omni takes a different angle. It's not just a language model, it's a multimodal reasoning engine. It can process text, images, and likely audio or video, all within a single efficient architecture. That's huge for agentic tasks where you need to understand a user's screen, a PDF, and a spoken query at the same time. Think about a typical enterprise workflow. You've got a support agent that needs to look at a screenshot of an error, read the associated log file, and then suggest a fix. With a paid API, you're paying for every image token, every text token, and you're sending sensitive data to the cloud. With Nemotron 3 Nano Omni, you run it locally. It's the same 30B total 3B active parameter setup as the base Nano, but extended to handle multiple modalities. The 1 million token context window means it can hold an entire code base, a long conversation, and a bunch of images in memory at once. Now, does it beat GPT 5.4, 5.5 or Claude 4.6, 4.7 on multimodal benchmarks? Hard to say without public numbers, but again, the value proposition isn't just raw accuracy, it's control, privacy, and zero marginal cost. For any business that handles sensitive visual data, this model is a no-brainer to at least test. But here's the part nobody talks about: these free models have a very specific blind spot. Alright, before you cancel your ChatGPT subscriptions, let's talk about the real trade-offs. These free models are specialized. Laguna is built for coding. Nemotron Omni is built for multimodal agent reasoning. They are not general-purpose chatbots that can write a poem, plan your vacation, and debug your code, all in one conversation. Paid APIs like GPT 5.4 or 5.5 or Claude are still broader and often more robust on a wide range of tasks. Then there's the performance ceiling. With only 3 billion active parameters, these models are never going to match a 1 trillion parameter behemoth on complex, multi-step reasoning that requires deep world knowledge. They might struggle with nuanced legal analysis or creative writing that needs a huge breadth of training data. And while they're efficient, you still need hardware to run them, a decent GPU with enough VRAM. Not everyone has that lying around. Also, the ecosystem around paid APIs is massive: function calling, structured outputs, built-in safety filters, seamless scaling. With open models, you have to handle all that yourself. So the question isn't, are free models better? It's, are they better for your specific use case? There are 3 situations where free models don't just compete, they dominate. So when do these free models genuinely beat paid APIs? Free scenarios. First, privacy critical work. If you're handling medical records, financial data, or proprietary code, sending that to OpenAI is a non-starter for compliance. Running a model locally keeps everything air-gapped. That alone makes Laguna or Nemotron the winner. Second, high volume. Repetitive tasks. Let's say you're running a CI/CD pipeline that needs to generate unit tests for every commit. With a paid API, that's thousands of tokens per day, and the bill adds up. With a local model, it's essentially free after the initial hardware cost. You can run it 24/7 without watching a usage meter. Third, customization and fine-tuning. Because these models are open weight, you can fine-tune them on your own data. You can make Laguna an expert on your company's internal libraries. You can't do that with GPT 5.4 or 5.5, you're stuck with whatever OpenAI gives you. So for teams that need a model tailored to their domain, free and open is the only way. In these scenarios, the free model doesn't just match the paid API, it outperforms it in terms of practicality, cost, and control. The only way to know if these models beat paid APIs is to test them yourself. Here's how. Now, I haven't personally benchmarked these models against GPT 5.4, 5.5 yet, that's a video for another day. But if you want to test them yourself, here's what you'd look for. Spin up Laguna XS.2 on a machine with at least 16 GB of VRAM. Give it a multi-file refactoring task and see how well it maintains context over 50 steps. Compare that to using the GPT 5.4, 5.5 API with a similar agent loop, measure the latency, the code quality, and the total cost. For Nemotron Omni, feed it a screenshot of a UI bug, a log file, and ask it to diagnose the issue. Then do the same with GPT 5.5 or 5.5. Check if the local model's answer is as accurate and whether the privacy trade-off is worth any accuracy gap. The point is, you don't have to take my word for it. These models are free to download and test. The only thing you'll spend is your time. And that's the real shift. The barrier to entry for powerful AI just dropped to zero. Whether they beat paid APIs today isn't a yes or no question. It's a spectrum that depends entirely on your task. So after all this, should you cancel your API subscription today? Here's the honest answer. So here's the bottom line. If you're a developer spending hours a day in an IDE, download Laguna XS.2 and see if it can replace your Copilot or API calls. If you're building agents that need to understand screens and documents, grab Nemotron 3 Nano Omni and run it locally. In both cases, you'll save money and keep your data private. But if you need a general purpose assistant that can handle anything from email drafting to creative brainstorming, stick with your paid API for now. The free models aren't quite there yet for that broad versatility. The good news is the gap is closing fast. And with open weight models, you're not locked into any one vendor. You can switch, fine, tune, and even self-host. The real winner here isn't a single model, it's the fact that free, capable AI is now a reality, and that changes the game for everyone. Here is how the full lesson connects back together. We started with 2 free, open weight models dropped in the same week, and then we covered imagine never paying per token for coding again. After that, we covered what if your AI could see your screen, read your docs, and after that, we covered but here's the part nobody talks about, these free models. After that, we covered there are 3 situations where free models don't just. After that, we covered the only way to know if these models beat paid APIs is to. Finally, we closed with so after all this, should you cancel your API subscription? If you want a real head-to-head benchmark of these free models against GPT 5.5 on a coding task, drop a comment and I'll make that video. Subscribe for more practical AI comparisons. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Tech Talk AI and try Memonic, free at Memonic app, made with Memonic.